Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. So we're going to kind of throw out the script this evening and just address what has been going on with the markets and also talk about whether or not high yield dividends might be sustainable in a bear market, which we officially seem to be in. So let's go ahead and go over all of our beautifully performing indexes today, like the NASDAQ, the S&P 500. We'll look at the Russell. We'll even look at the Dow and maybe have a group discussion, just kind of see where we are, and whether or not we think that high yield dividends are sustainable. I'll give you a hint here. So I think some of these funds might actually have to be cutting their dividends. Let me do this here in Discord. Okay, just announcing in Discord. Okay, so I really have no script or no plan for this video. I just want to have an informal discussion on the market. So let's first go look at all of our indices here. We'll go to the NASDAQ site. And only going to go for maybe 5 to 10 minutes here. But um, I actually would venture to say I think that these dividends are not sustainable. And let me know if anybody disagrees with me. But it would not surprise me if we saw some of these funds start actually cutting dividends. In fact, I'll show you what Schwab recently did to me on my projected dividend income. They actually took it from what used to be like 55 or 60,000. They took it down to 18,000. Um, so because some of my YieldMax funds, they basically have told me, and I called about this too, when it came to Coney. So Coney has never properly displayed on Charles Schwab on the dividend income page. Um, so I finally called and asked them why that was happening, and they said that basically the dividends are way too unpredictable to display. And I don't know, maybe they think it's a liability for themselves if they have like a. I was just thinking about this today. If they have a major social media influencer, even a channel bigger than mine, going in there using their income app or their income tab, and saying, "Hey, look at this! I make all this dividend money." So they've removed the dividend income pretty much for all YieldMax funds. So it kind of shows you what they think of them. Um, so basically, to add insult to injury in this market, where I'm sure a lot of us are definitely, any of us that are trading options are rolling out further, and for significant losses if we're not out already. Um, we're doing that, and we're assessing whether or not these dividends are sustainable. Um, And like I said, Schwab has pretty much removed all YieldMax dividend info from their income tab, because they think it's just too unpredictable. So let me know you all's thoughts here. Oh, this is funny. Hey, Chuck, how are you? Jay, if the market drops more than 5% from here, my wife said she will leave me. Um, yeah, I'm just being honest, Jay, and I would say the same thing. Like, if you all are able to sustain the dividends that that you've been producing, I'd be shocked. Granted, I mean, I know you guys, your traders, are able to handle the downside volatility um, of a lot of this stuff. So hopefully, within the next month, hopefully, you all would be able to harvest more of that volatility. But like I said, when I went in and I saw my Schwab page, I was like, wow, I went from like projected $60,000 dividend income down to 18,000. I like this one. Please cut the dividends during this time. That way we at least preserve what NAV we have left. Um, please preserve the dividends we have. Well, I mean, Jay's got all the incentive right here. Like if it drops more than 5%, and especially being that he's a market mover himself, right? Um, literally he's got the magic button to control what the market's going to do, right? Um, so if it drops more than 5%, she says she will leave. So of course, this is all a joke, but some of you take my serious tone a little too seriously sometimes. Sell next day says, "Whoa." So anyway, what are you all's thoughts as far as the market and stuff like that? I got nothing today as far as a script. He says, "I'm not even thinking about options right now. Do you have a couch I could crash on?" Max Convexity won't pick up the phone. Actually, I have a believe it or not, I have like a broken futon that I haven't thrown out yet. It's just got some clothes and stuff on it. But yeah, I mean, hey, from fund manager to coach's couch, right? Let's see. Got out of Misty, started doing my own options on MSTU. Oh, those I'm going to be holding the bag on those for a while. Um, let me try to show you all the income tab here. I'm not going to show you my account because it ain't pretty. Let's just say. But you know what? All markets recover. I know this one will. It's just the timing is just so horrible for a lot of things right now. Let me do this real quick. Huh. My account is it's not fun to look at, let's just say. It is not fun. Okay. I guess on the bright side, we have some of our tax forms coming in that have taken forever. So I guess I can maybe start filing my taxes. Okay. So look what happened here. As far as projected dividend income, we got decimated. Oh, how about this one? Rob Smith sold his Tesla at 302, want to buy a smaller position back at around 200, but now I am wondering if we can get into the 100s. Q1 is coming out, so it may be low, just hard to know when to buy back. So much for Tesla recovering, huh? All we can do is dollar cost average and a drip during this time. Well, I'm all out of money, so I'm just holding the bag on everything right now. Wish I had a little more cash positions before this, I will say. Okay, so let me show the awesome dividend projections for the year. We've gone from like the top of the mountain to rolling back down, literally. So first 2 months of the year was, fairly normal income. February actually dropped from January, and we've gone from basically. So last year we made 64,000 in the portfolio. We even had a very decent December to $12,000. So I got to tell you, looking back on last year, starting to look like looking back on Rome. Um, we did tremendously dividend income wise. It was a great year. Monthly average, you see 53, 59. Well, that's all changed now. That's all out the window. So Schwab is now projecting much lower dividends because for all of these, they've now projected that basically they completely wiped out any dividend projection for Tesla. So Tesla's not even showing up as a dividend paying ETF. Not all YieldMax funds though, because you see SQY, they're still showing for SQY, for QQQY, for YMAG, and QYLD, QDTE. I had to sell some stuff recently to come up with some money. So that's another story. But yeah, see Tesla, it's saying basically data unavailable. So for three of them, Tesla, Misty, Coney, and Ulti, no data available right now. So, and I don't even want to begin to look there as far as options positions. We'll cover that another time. Maybe I'll take a home equity loan out or something. Anyway, so you see the dividend income has basically collapsed because they don't think that the other yield max funds are all that reliable. So you can see what has happened here. We went from like looking at like 55,000 projected for the year and hopefully exceeding that because Coney was never counted to less than $19,000. Let's see. I'm still seeding on cash. I bet market drops further, probably. Tesla looks like another split to come. Well, you heard what he said. He mentioned the other fund that's down to like $3. Let's see here. We got Jared Johnson. I agree with what Schwab did. It's just going to mislead those new to the market. Yeah, no, it could be a liability for them. What's your icon there? Do you have a channel too? Let's see. What does Jay say? Uh, Jay's on a drunken rant right now. I've got some yen hidden under the Jersey Turnpike. Just forgot the coordinates. You got to map out those coordinates, and you can't lose stuff like that. When you do a location pin on your iPhone, that's why. It's for that exact same reason. It's for when you hide yen under the Jersey Turnpike, you can't lose track of it. You gotta maintain control of where it is. So he says, "I'll be all right." Sylvia, on the other hand, I don't know. Heard she just put in an application at Hooters. Hey, it might pay better at this time. Yeah, definitely. I definitely would say it's what we would call a drunken rant. At some point, a split won't be so bad. You think so, huh? Okay. Um, yeah. So again, that's why the location pin on the iPhone is so important. Anyway, let's look here. Let's do a little bit of a market review here. Let's recap our amazing market performance here. What a great year, right? So much for, by the way, the theory that, a new administration in their first year after an election, so much for that theory, right? The theory that the theory that the market's going to just run up because obviously we're not seeing that at all. What can we do? I'm actually at a total loss, but thankfully, when I happen to be at a loss, one thing that keeps me rooted and keeps me centered is I happen to be in possession of advanced financial forecasting equipment, such as the 8 ball, which helps to guide me in situations like this and helps to tell me what the financial future might hold. So he asks, what can we do? Will we recover? Let's do that. Cannot predict now. Even though it's advanced, it can't always make an accurate prediction. Sometimes it has to be calibrated. You may rely on it. Yeah, we sure will, right? Um, of course, we can always keep shaking it till we get the answer we want. Now it says most likely. There we go. Now that we have the answer we want, we can stop doing that and we can move on to more important things like responding to other comments. Buy more. Well, yeah, if you have money right now, buy more. Or if you have margin. Is Daddy Don doing this on purpose? That's what everybody's saying on the Twitter. I just don't know why he would do this on purpose. Why would you want He's not gonna get another term. This is his last term that he can be president. Why would he wanna crash the market on purpose? I noticed Jay didn't close many trades today. Found that interesting. I don't trust your own pal. You know how I feel. I think he should get the axe, but I think Trump actually asked for his resignation. And of course, he points out he's a white man. Yeah, that's definitely part of the problem. Um, no question. But what was I saying? Oh, he asked for his resignation, but he's not going to resign. He's going to stay. Um, and yeah, unfortunately, I think somebody actually told me today a theory. They think that Trump might be just doing everything in his power to kind of drive things down to maybe force Powell to cut rates, but I don't think Powell wants to cooperate. I don't think Powell is a big fan, let's just say. Market doesn't like the tariffs, no tariffs, all the uncertainty. I know. Well, and it's that he keeps reversing like back and forth. Doesn't add up, right? See, he's actually he's agreeing with me. I mean, me and Jay, we see eye to eye. What can I say? I thought pushing tariffs to help fund the next line of tax cuts. Yeah, external revenue service, right? So I've heard a lot of different theories. Temporary pain for long-term glory, so to speak. We got to go through a little bit of pain now for things to look better in the future. So we'll certainly see that. But as far as right now, my answer to the question posed in this video to start out, are these dividends sustainable? I highly doubt it. And so let me do a market review now. I'll let the peanut gallery keep building up their comments here, and we'll come back in a second. So let's just see, kind of calibrate ourselves here. I should pop a drink open right now. But then again, it's not like I would want to encourage, drinking or any other nefarious activity. We want to keep things, nice and clean and above water here, of course. Okay, so I pulled up a site that I normally don't use here. Let me see something here. I just want to look at NASDAQ. You think I could go to the NASDAQ website and find the NASDAQ performance, right? Doesn't always quite work so easily. I do like this, so we can see on this site earnings coming up, earnings calendar. We've got an IPO. Just a great timing, right, for an IPO. Um, hmm. These are like this is like the futures, I feel like. Were we down that much today? That can't be right. Let me just go. Let me go to a site that I know. I'm just gonna have to go to Yahoo. Um, let's see here. Doctor said he can't ethically take any more of my plasma. Well, yeah, you don't want to become a vampire after all. The question is, will the dividends recover once we reverse? That is the bigger question, actually. Will they recover? Well, you see what's happening. As these funds drop, the dividends are also dropping. And it would take these funds to get back to where they not only where they currently are, but where they were like a month ago or more. It would take that in order for the dividends to pay out what they were paying. Let's see. There are not new tax cuts. They will extend the current cuts. That's right. It's not new tax cuts. They're trying to extend the current cuts. Once they do that, I'm hoping the sooner the better because that will definitely jolt the markets to extend the current cuts or let them expire, which is a so if you let tax cuts expire, that is by definition a tax increase. I don't think they'll let that happen, but Congress is going to have to do something. So far, I haven't seen the new Congress doing very much. I just see executive orders being signed, and I don't see the Congress doing too much. New cuts on business to 15. Oh, 15 for like the corporate tax rate. I like what our governor said here. Our governor said he wants to get rid of property tax. I'm all for that. The less tax, the better. As you all know, I'm a little bit, I don't want to say like anti-government, but I'm kind of small government. I think taxes are a giant scam for what I pay in federal income tax, just to say the least. Um, I feel I get nothing for it, absolutely nothing. And I see some of the wasteful spending that they're finding. Um, Here comes the rant, just so you all know it's already started. But I just think taxes are a giant waste and a giant scam. And honestly, the less tax, the better. Howard Lutnick has left the country. Why him? He paid 5 million for a Saudi visa. Well, is that where he wants to be right now? I doubt it. But anyway, um, oh, AMZP, that's the curve one, right? Holds pretty good. Hey, curve funds, by the way, I like a lot. I think curve funds are pretty sustainable, just the way they're doing it and stuff. And I like how in November and December they took in excess because the way the market ran up, they took in excess capital, so to speak, and they dispersed it. They created a much bigger dividend to their shareholders. I thought about getting rid of property tax before, but what will end up happening is you won't be able to if you don't own any, you won't be able to. People literally die and pass to the next generation. Mm, so let's think about that for a second. So getting rid of projects before what will end up happening is if you don't own any, you won't be able to. People will literally die past to the next generation. So you're saying if you don't own now, if they get rid of property tax, then you definitely won't be able to own. Um, well, there could be a flurry on buying too. How will the state fund anything without property taxes? Well, Jay, and you should know this because you're like a part-time, resident here too, at least. Um, we have sales tax. We have they make up for not having a state income tax a lot of ways. Um, there's sales tax, obviously, which oddly went down. There's like intangible tax on like your mortgage and stuff like that when you get that. There's tax on any kind of transference of assets, things like that, buying cars. We're one of the highest in the country in terms of like dealer fees and stuff like that. So there's definitely ways they make up for it. But as far as I'm concerned, like the less tax, the better. Yeah, you could do that or not. Like I like that we got like a penny cut in sales tax. Do you have a specific yield max fund you're worried about the most? Yeah, Tesla. How about that one? Okay, let's do this real quick, as promised. I've gone way longer than I thought I would, but let's just wrap up here. Let's see, finance, Yahoo. Okay. We've got some good news actually. The futures are up slightly. He's worried about all of them. None of that will get anywhere close to enough revenue. Well, you presume that the state is already strapped for revenue as it is, but I mean, there's lots of ways we make money here. They're able to not have a state income tax, which I love because I think that would be a giant ripoff. Anyway, let's go look over here. There is some encouraging news on the horizon here, folks. It looks like the futures are up tomorrow. See, talking to all of you is like my therapy. Uh, let's see here. S&P futures are up 3.25. Dow futures are up 81. Of course, Nasdaq would be down even further. Russell is up 7. Let's go over here. Okay, so in about a month, we've come down like 500 points here. Um, I know this isn't 100% correct because this is like the futures. Let me just get this out of the way though. Since February 18th, this is like 3 weeks now. We've lost almost 3,000 in the Dow. Um, S&P. Oh, we just looked at S&P. Nasdaq. Nasdaq is the important one. That's the one I want to look at the most. Okay, so Nasdaq. Let's see. Nasdaq has lost, wow, almost 3,000 according to this, but this is just the futures here. Let me go to Seeking Alpha real quick here. Okay, let's see here. Weekly payers, yeah, I actually think the less frequent or the more frequent the dividend payment, the more at risk it could be. I'd like to add a weekly payer to my portfolio. Well, maybe now's the time. How many publicly traded companies are there? You tell us. You're the expert. Okay, let's go over here. Let's see. Excuse me. Seeking Alpha. Okay, this is better. I should just use this site. Okay. Well, we got decent participation today. Class is really attending because class wants to know what's up, right? You want to know when the market's going to recover. And I wish I had all the magic answers, but I don't always. Okay, so we're officially in red territory for the year. Um, let's see. We got all the way up. We had a little bit. We almost hit 40. We hit 45,000 in the Dow, but a month later we've lost basically 3,000 points. S&P year to date. We peaked. It seems like everything peaked around like February 19th or so. So this one was right. We've lost about 500 points in the S&P. Yep, 500 points there. And then we want to look at, of course, NASDAQ. Here we go. This is just crazy. Wow, we were at 22,000, 22,211. About that. 22,211. So we've lost almost 3,000 in the NASDAQ as well. So percentage-wise, that's a lot more. Anyway, I'm not going to go on forever. I could keep talking, but let's do a couple more. This is Jay's son. Oh, so it should be Jay Petrocelli Jr. Well, you have the inside scoop with your father, being who he is. So you still should know these answers to these questions. I want some good feelings from you tonight, and you're failing me. Well, I tried to use the advanced equipment. I tried to recalibrate it and get it to give us some reassurance. It says signs point to yes as far as market recovery. Now it says signs point to yes. Bitcoin back over 80,000. That's a plus, right? Now, here's a question I have. Why is crypto becoming more and more tied in with the overall market? Crypto should move in the inverse direction, I would think, but it doesn't seem to be doing that for whatever reason. Round tree, you mean round hill, or YieldMax or curve, which you prefer? At this point, I'd have to say curve. I put some of the gunpowder from Tesla sale into SPYI, QQI, FDVV, and of course, good old SCHD. Coach, do you have these grandpa funds too? I did have some SC. I know a lot of people love SCHD, but it doesn't pay that great of a dividend. I do have some QQQI. I never got into SPYI, but there's definitely other ones I was looking at before I started doing all my heavy risky trades. YMAX, people want safety in this market. All right, folks, I'm going to end it there. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Like, comment, and subscribe, and join Discord. And here's hoping that the market starts to recover tomorrow at the soonest. It can't recover fast enough. Thank you, folks. Take care. Hang in there. We're all in this together, and we'll all come out richer, hopefully. All right. Take care. Bye.